Let's discuss my plan in some detail. The most important aspect of the plan is that it's dedicated. The reason I'm doing that is because I always hit a wall. And if I have other responsibilities, if people need me to be dependable, for example, at work, I can't do that and maintain employment. And so I've decided to take some time off work and just do this so I can eventually hit that wall and see what's on the other side. It's possible the wall could just go on forever. I don't think that's the case. I think there actually is a top, and I believe I can climb over it and down it, but I can't find that out if I have to be able to get up and go to work. So dedicated is important. There are a couple of aspects to my pain that are somewhat unique, as far as I can tell. One is that the pain onset is very gradual, meaning I get very delayed reactions from exercises and activities. I don't know what hurt me necessarily because I feel it 2 to 3 days later. And then even beyond that, the buildup that leads to the wall is usually weeks long and sometimes months long, almost like it's a new injury and it's just accruing some damage, and eventually it's just so much that I fall over. The other thing that's interesting about it is I have what I call shutdowns, which if I get too much of that, I basically hit the wall, and my body goes into almost like a recovery stage or state where I need to lay down and sleep for a couple days to be able to ward it off and get better. And so all of that together led me to believe that I need to do something dedicated so that I can take the time I need to have the shutdowns and to build up and accrue that damage and face it and see if I can push through it rather than retreating and trying to go back to the status quo so I can maintain my job. That's why it's dedicated. In terms of preparation, again, I started about a month and a half ago. I am going to bring every tool that I know of and that I've learned about up to this point to bear during this rehabilitation. I believe that this unique and singular focus is going to help me maximize my chance for success. The first thing I've done is I've made public announcements. I've told all of my friends and family that I'm doing this. I'm posting daily updates on Facebook so they can kind of see what's going on with me. And I'm starting this channel, which is new for me. I've never done anything on YouTube before. And honestly, I'm a little anxious about that, but so be it. The other thing is I have all of my medications ready to go. I have what's called an intrathecal pump. It's actually like a drip system. There's a reservoir implanted inside my body with a cocktail of drugs, and it literally drips into my spinal cord to help me control pain. I have a self-administering cell phone that I can fire up and give myself additional doses. So I had my doctor bump the number of doses to the max during this time period so that I can get the pain relief that I need. I've upped my sleep meds to the max as well. So I take as much as I need depending on how much I'm hurting so I can still sleep. And I'm starting ketamine treatments. I talked about psychedelics in a prior video a little bit. Ketamine is a psychedelic that will help me to cope, I think, mentally with the stress of what I'm doing and allow me to release a lot of the emotion that's going to accrue so I don't get stuck and not want to get out of bed. So all the medications are ready to go. I have all the best professionals that I know of lined up to help me. I have a physical therapist who I've worked with for a while, who understands my condition. He's helping to kind of guide me through the process. I found a personal trainer who has a strong physical therapy background, so he can coordinate with the physical therapist and coordinate my care as needed. I attend a weekly chronic pain coping group. I'm going to be doing that as well. I've told them that I'm doing this, so they know what's going on. I'm going to be giving them regular updates and hopefully use that forum as a way to get the support I need, the moral support, and reveal some of the more ugly things I'm feeling that I might not even put on here. So, and then I have a recovery center that my brother-in-law helped me find that I'm going to go to every day after I work out and go through some of the recovery techniques they have. They have a big kind of a la carte menu that I can pick from. I'm going to run down those and find out what works, and I'm going to use them. So a lot of things are ready to go. My diet is really clean, actually. I eat only whole foods. I do not eat processed foods. My diet's heavy in fruit and vegetables and whole grains and minimal animal products. I will have animal products on occasion, but minimal animal products. The idea here is to bring down as much inflammation in my body as possible and provide it the nutrients it needs to support me during this rehab period. The next thing is I'm avoiding television and video games or anything that acts like a depressive, something when you binge watch it, you basically feel dark inside. That stuff isn't happening. I do watch a little bit with my family, but that's it. I have a bunch of what I call jump starters ready to go. Anything that will get my brain functioning when I don't feel good. That could be as simple as budgeting, believe it or not. Just updating everything in my budget app sometimes will trigger my brain to come online. They could be also puzzles like Sudoku. It can be something as simple as coloring in an adult coloring book. I know that sounds stupid, but it actually works. So when I do those things, my brain kind of comes back online. And then on the inspirational side of the house, I've created playlists of music that I have to go depending on what I'm feeling and what I need to let myself experience to support me. On the spiritual side, I am reconnecting with God. I'm saying daily prayers. I am studying my scriptures. And then my wife has done a bunch of research for self-help videos on YouTube that I'm also leveraging to help me keep my spirits up during this time. So that's kind of the preparation that I've done to set everything in place. And now, as far as execution goes, here's how the plan works. So I am doing a 5-day on, 2-day off schedule. So I exercise for 5 days. I take 2 days off and do recovery type activities on those 2 days. And during this time, I'll be swimming for those 5 days every day. That's kind of my baseline activity that I do. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll have my weightlifting regimen, whatever those exercises might be that my physical therapist and trainer are giving to me. And then before I do the exercises Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to my physical therapist and he uses a hot laser to mobilize 3 areas of my spine that are kind of my trigger zones, the areas that hurt the most, and that allows me to move better while I do my exercises. And the last thing I do is I track my progress. I spent much of this first week setting up spreadsheets so that I can actually keep track of everything I'm doing day to day, how I feel, and I can measure my own progress, because at some point it's going to feel like I'm not getting anywhere, and I need some data to tell me that I am. So at a high-level overview, that's my plan, and I hope it's helpful to you and gives you some ideas for your own.